2 million people took to the streets in Hong Kong. They're calling for Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam to resign. Have these protesters changed the future of Hong Kong?
This is China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell here in Hong Kong. On Saturday, Carrie Lam said the Hong Kong government was going to postpone the controversial extradition bill. But as you can see by the massive protests all around me, that may not have been enough for the people of Hong Kong.
What you're looking at is a lot of very, very mad Hong Kongers. It's over a proposed extradition bill. If passed, it could allow the Hong Kong government to extradite people in Hong Kong to mainland China for trial. And Carrie Lam, the Hong Kong chief executive, did not really seem to understand how upset people were. This is what she said a day before the protest.
I feel deep sorrow and regret that the deficiencies in our work and various other factors have stirred up substantial controversies.
But she didn't stop at that stunning apology. She also said the Hong Kong government would postpone voting on the extradition bill. But is that enough for the people of Hong Kong? Well, let's ask them.
Not quite, because she still said that people do not understand why this bill has to be passed. But I don't think so. I think it is a difference in value.
Well, I think it's certainly it's a wise decision to postpone the review the ordinance and make more of a social awareness of the people of Hong Kong need. Also extremely important, it's the lack of faith in Beijing. Beijing must show more good faith, not just to Hong Kong, but to Taiwan, Philippines, and the general neighborhood.
As you can see, Carrie Lam is kind of screwed. Lam had called previous protests over the extradition bill organized riots, and called this a very restrained response by police. Police used 150 cans of tear gas in a single night. By comparison, in the entire 79 days of the 2014 Umbrella Movement, they only used 87 cans of tear gas. I get the feeling that Carrie Lam isn't too good at saying stuff. One of the themes of today's protest was "Suspend Your Mother," referring to Carrie Lam. It's a sort of Cantonese pun that involves lots of swearing. Anyway, the protesters were demanding that Lam stop labeling the protests as riots and release students who were arrested. They also wanted her to fully withdraw the extradition bill and, resign. But since the protest was on Father's Day, it was also a fun event for the whole family.
Why did you choose to spend your Father's Day like this?
It's not my choice. It's the government choice to push us all together to do the protesting. And I think we are doing the right thing, definitely.
We think this is a good sign to show that we support the students and the rest of the protesters.
Well, how do you feel being here with your whole family?
I think, I'm proud of them because I think, they understand, what to do, why they should be here, and what they are fight for.
It's a nice feeling to be here with my dad, to know that I'm not like the only one part of my family that agrees with me on these things, these ideals.
Yeah, why'd you come out here with your family today?
Yeah, because it's important to let the next generation to know about these events.
This law has to be cancelled because I want my next generation have to be better life and more freedom.
And how do you feel to be here? I'll interview you again in a couple years. Oh.
Protesters came from all parts of Hong Kong society. There were so many of them, they spilled over into other streets. Organizers said there were almost 2 million protesters, double last Sunday's protest. Hong Kong only has 7 million people, which would make this the largest protest in Hong Kong history. But police said there were only just over 300,000 people. Maybe the police need some help with counting. No one expected this many people, and in response to this unprecedented protest, Carrie Lam issued an apology, written in the third person. The chief executive apologizes to the public and promises that she will accept criticism in the most sincere and humble way. Problem solved.
After one of the biggest protests in Hong Kong history, clearly the people of Hong Kong have woken up. They will not go quietly into that good night. Well, except for these people. it has been a long day. Once again, Chris Chappell here in Hong Kong.